I want you to look at this. What is your idea as an African? What is your idea about God? Begin to ask yourself these questions. And the things you do that says you are worshiping God, what is your idea about it? What do you know about the God that you say you worship or you know? Begin to ask yourself these questions. If you are someone who is watching and trying to conceptualize the idea about God and the worship, what you are supposed to do in order to know God, you see, begin to ask yourself these questions, because everything that Africans people know is that in order to connect the God you worship, he has to start from what? Being in a religion or reading the Bible. You see, it is an idea, and so what you see people do in a religious setting is an idea of who they think God is. You see, to them, that is why they say God, God. And that is why even the Bible, they don't see the Bible as a book that they can even go beyond. You see how it is? That is how the idea that I'm talking about is. And so the religion that you are in is someone's idea, is somebody who started the idea, and he thinks this is how, in order for me to have the awareness and begin to know the God, this is what you should be doing in order to say that you are worshiping God. But it's also in the history in Africa that they brought the Bible. And so at that time, question is, in what we are doing as a worship or connecting and knowing God, and that is the ultimate. Before the Bible came, how were Africans living? How are blacks, this continent, how were they living? Don't they know anything? Who are they? Begin to ask yourself this, because this is the genesis of you preparing yourself to know something higher, to see yourself higher than before. You see, and that higher, I'm telling you, is God. Because that higher is what will make you see problems and you avoid them. It's what will make you, even in relationship, you will know. It's what, when you sit down, so many things are in your awareness that will never come to most people's awareness. You see, it's what, when you sit down, you begin to know things, see things that is beyond the minds of people who are yet to know. You get it? And so the God, the concept, when they say God, when they say this, when they say that, what do you buy into? Because many are doing so many things as they use the name God. But these things are not making people see from a higher perspective, because it is what? It is acting. Just like how people see. Look at the account, if you want to use the Bible, where the first human, they say in the Bible, Adam and Eve. You see, the fruit the God says that they shouldn't eat. In the Bible, say they shouldn't eat from every fruit, but not this one. What do you think that is? Because knowledge, you going beyond these things, can make you clearly see what the book is trying to say, because you have a knowledge. Many things in the Bible is flipped, and even if you have the idea that it is flipped, you will not know until you have a knowledge, a higher knowledge of what that means, which means you have to go beyond it. Start seeking information so your eyes will open in that. Because when your awareness begin to increase, then you begin to understand that this is not a book to hold on to. Just like how some people have even gone beyond it and has found another one called the Apocrypha. And the Apocrypha, they say, is an extended version. Some parts in the Bible that you are using that has been taken away, and that is the Apocrypha. You see, from the Bible that people are reading, is what he went to found, which is the Apocrypha. And so the ones that people are even reading is fake, is lies. So he has found the truth, which is the Apocrypha. You see how it is? How can such person increase in awareness? How can such persons, when they are coming in to hurt you, throw your brain off, how can you know? Because humans are gods, and everyone are expressing themselves in so many different ways as gods. You hear me? Because the universe is a god, and you is a god expressing yourself in the universe. You see how it is? And you see in this continent that there are tribes, over 5,000 languages being spoken in Africa. And all these 5,000 languages being spoken in Africa are what? Religion. Because it is a way of life. This is how we do our things. So if you understand it this way, then you know that even in Africa, we have so many things that can easily pin you down if you don't know who you are. And religion also comes in. So when you begin to know and understand and know who you are, then now you know that, okay, this is my tribe, this is that. Okay, I'm from this tribe. I will not let this one pin me down, and I will not let this thing pin me down, because there are some situations whereby when you are from this tribe, they tell you have to do this. When you don't do this, sometimes your people can say things to make you do, even if you don't wanna, because this is cultural. But some, when you look at this from a higher perspective, it's archaic. It's not something that's supposed to be happening if you begin to see things from a different perspective. Because you have to understand that they were, and some also saw themselves as gods. And so the ones who saw themselves as gods see things from a higher perspective. And so people who can see that, see and feel that. And so they worship such persons. That is why I'm telling you that Africans are gods. Africans, if they begin to know who they are, the white will begin to worship them. The white will begin to worship you, because it is clear. Everything in this universe is showing you who you are. And so what you know is what will make you know that truly I'm a god. Because there are some persons who I can see that the God in them, for which they don't want to know, for which you are, is expressing. And because of the awareness that I have, what I see and what I know easily makes me see these things in these persons, but they don't know. So many people are expressing themselves as a god, but they don't have the awareness to know that they are, and they are in certain teachings that are limiting them. They are not seeing that because of the teachings they are into. You see, that is why they say idol. Who are idol? They see gods, who worship gods. Some saw themselves as gods. That is why they see lesser gods. You see, so a situation whereby somebody will say, we worship this person as a god, because the things that the Asian people, they worship are trees, stones, water, and all these things are what? Natural things, nature. That is what some people see, that they want to express themselves. They are godly nature in that. You see, they feel like, I want to connect with this. You see, that is how magical you are. When they connect with such things, they begin to say things and they get response. That is how magical you are. That is how Africans, some were expressing themselves. And so these persons, they have awareness in that. But the awareness to also know from a higher perspective, if this is making them increase in awareness, also has to take a knowledge. You see what I'm talking about? And so where you are and what you are doing as a worship to God is same. It's more like the person who is also using trees, worshiping trees, stones, and connecting to their self, knowing self, expressing themselves as a god. That is how it is. And so you will see it as it is. But your level of awareness will make you know. You see? And so it is knowledge. That is why I keep telling you that praying against the demonic entity and spirit is you wasting your time. It will not make you increase in awareness. It's not awareness, because if you want to express yourself so, then you will always find reason to always go and pray against. That is what we see in Africa. That is why many cannot increase in awareness. You get it? And so if I tell you are a god, you are. Teachings you are into, what you know, the awareness you have, you begin to have, will make you have that realization. It is a reality. It is something you see. It's what automatically make you know the other persons, how they are also expressing themselves as a god. You see? So it's what will make you, in terms of having persons close to you, persons that you say, these persons should be by my side. You know the persons, because what you know, your idea can bring those people around you. And the awareness you also have will make you know. It's not guilt, it's a knowing. You will have things as a knowing. Just like how when you meet persons and they are having random conversation, you can clearly know how they think. Yes, that is how it is. That is how it is. And so when the white came, they saw that. The whole world, look at the world. Have you ever seen a king or a chief? Even in the King's Charles, the Queen Elizabeth, all these persons who have the highest or whatever that they call it, you don't see them putting their people on their shoulders. It takes people who see and know things as a god to do that. So they hail. You see, that is what they do to the chiefs. And that is why even when you come to Africa, most people, especially in the Ghana language, most people, they have names like, even in the Ewe language, you have Mauli. God is there. Mauto, Mau this. It's all about God. You see, a name like God's way, Maupemo, all these things. You see, your way. It has to be your way. Your way is the way. You see, expressing. So some people are also expressing themselves in that lower entity style, and they don't have the awareness. Even if they want to move away, it's hurting them. They don't have the awareness to, unless these persons are ready to what? If they want to seek knowledge to make them increase, so they can have a higher perspective of how they are expressing themselves, then they will know. If I meet persons and I see something and I'm letting these persons know, and because they are not ready to know, they don't see what I'm telling them as relevant, that is never wasted to me. Why? Because I know, and I know that anybody that I've ever said something to is never wasted. They will remember me. So even if in that moment, in the present moment, they deny what I'm telling them, I know. It's a knowing. I know, because I know that they will remember what I said. Even if they deny it, they will be there and will come into the awareness. Even in a situation whereby I know this thing will be hunting you, I call it hunting because it is a solution that you need. You see, yes, it will be in your mind and you always remember that I said these things to you. And so I know, I'm not worried. I know if I say it, if I know that it will help you and you deny, I'm not worried. And so that is how you begin to see things. That is what it means to say that you know as human. In the local dialect, they say nipa. Nipa, you see, you have so many things in you, so many abilities. That is why I'm telling you that the Bible is not a tool, it's not a book to hold on to as a God. Just like how people are worshipping stones and things, that is how people also see the Bible as a God. But it takes awareness to see these things. Persons who are in it, just like how people say, they see persons who are Jehovah's Witness, and then they are laughing at them that their faith is in the bag. Jide or bag mu, hosele bag me. You see, that is what they say. But the persons who say their faith is in the bag, begin to ask yourself, what is in the bag? Is it not the Bible? Yes, when they are going, they don't put it in the bag. They hold it. So they don't see it as their faith is in it, which is their awareness. They cannot go beyond. You see how it is? That is what it means. Awareness will open. So just like in the Bible that they say Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, some king told them to bow down to certain idol, gold. They say the idol that they have to bow to is a gold. Listen, it's a gold. And then they say they will not bow down to that. You see, they say they will not bow down to what? You are the idol. Don't you know? You are the idol. You are the God. That is why I'm telling you that Ghana is the gateway to Africa. And if leaders, they don't know, and they are doing themselves and holding religion in high esteem, it will be flipped. I keep telling you people, thinking, leaders in Ghana, Africa. Ghana is the gateway to Africa. Leaders, Ghana is supposed to show the way to Africans. It's in history. You see Kwame Nkrumah do that. Ghana is called what? The Gold Coast. And then later it was changed to what? Ghana. And when they say someone is a Ghanaian, a Ga in the Ewe language means what? Money. So a Ghanaian. Things in this universe are not just there just for you to be moving around and be doing external things as if you know, but you don't know. That is how the teachings, if you are in, they will make you feel. You get it? That is what they will make you feel. That is why I keep telling you that know who you are. Know who you are. Know who you are is the secret to knowing the other persons and also understanding this universe. Because the power is you. It's your awareness. What do you know? So just like Nigeria, they say they are giants of Africa. You see what the giant brought in as a president. And I'm telling you that there are so many things that is coming to happen in Africa for you to see. I'll be telling you things for you to know that truly here Africans are gods. Don't bow down to it. The gold bars that they say the king said they should bow down to, and they say they will not bow down to it. It's gold. It's this land. It's you. They will not bow down to you. That is why they keep coming here for it, but they keep telling you that you are poor. That is why it is in the Bible that says the day the Savior will come and save you, for which is this information to make you see from the situation in which you are in. That is where you begin to walk on gold. Because Africans still don't know that they are still walking on gold. You see, they're still walking on gold. Every region potentially has gold under. So we are walking on gold already. You have in the news that the biggest diamond was found in Africa. And this person didn't dig the ground to see these things. And they gave it to the government in one of the African countries, the biggest in the world. So the wealth is here. The wealth is here. Everything is here. You are God. You see, in festivals, just like I'm saying, the Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, as they say, they were put in the fire and they didn't burn. They were put in the fire because they didn't bow down to the idol, the statue. But all these things is flipped. They say they will not bow down to you because you have these things. So they have to make sure you don't have that peace. That is the fire they put you in. But look at it. Even in the fire that they are putting Africans through, even in festivals, you see it. That a fire will be set this way. And you will see an African sitting in the fire. Go on the next, you see it. In the northern, you see when Utumfuo, there's a festival or there's an anniversary, you see people coming from other parts of the regions in Ghana, some part of African countries, they will come. And then as things are going on, you see them hold knife this way. They cut their stomach open and you see their intestine out for some minutes, and then they'll put it back in and then put powder on it and seal it again. They do that. Africans do that. But whites, they don't do that. And so the awareness, just as I'm saying that when music is being played, even a child, an African child, can easily dance according to the tune. But a white child or an adult will go off beat. Is to tell you the awareness that you have, which is lying down in you. It is your teachings, the teachings you are following, is what will make you have that realization. Just like you who is watching, you see, you have abilities, special spiritual abilities, power that you can exhibit in this world, but you don't know because of the teachings you are into. How will you know? Because that is what we see Africans do. That is why you see Africans festivals, just like you see in the north, somebody does this way, pa, and then you see smoke comes from this person's hand, and it sounds like a gunshot. I tell you, all these things are happening in Ghana. In the fire being set this way, and then the person will sit in the fire. And then drums will be playing. Boom, 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 boom. The person is sitting in the fire will never get burned. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So even in that, the fire that Africans are going through, Africans are still expressing the God in them during festivals, but they cannot still see that they are gods. You see, that is what is happening in some part of the regions. So you see, in the northern part of Ghana, and then in the Volta part of Ghana, there are wars. That is why I'm telling you that you people, leaders in this country, if they say they want to know, they will know. The peace that we say we want is a knowing, is an awareness. That is what is also happening in Nigeria. So you see, the northern part, there's always fight. There's no peace. The borders, because when something happens, where would they happen from? From the Volta or the northern. Those are the corners of each country. That is where there's no peace most of the time. And most of the people who sometimes when they are fighting, it's because they think, just like what is happening in the northern region. The northerners, the reason why they've been fighting and killing themselves is as a result as they think they are their tribe. They don't see themselves bigger than the tribe. It's why. This is what they don't know, because they also don't see themselves as gods. They see the religion bigger than them, also the tribe. So you see, the system is locked everywhere. It's why they are fighting. And even the person who came in to solve the issue, the long fight, misunderstanding between these two tribes, the person who sat in to bring peace also don't know, which is the Ashanti king. He doesn't know. You see, I'm telling you these things to make you increase in awareness. He doesn't know because each people are shouting that they are a country. In your mind, and they take flag and then they'll be waving in your mind. Even there are some content creators, some who are even outside this country, they will put the flag at the corner on their screen. They will be sharing knowledge. These persons think they are their tribe. There's a country, and the country, we have a president. And so how come in the same country, we have a country, and we see government, sitting president, be seeing these things, and it's not in their awareness? Because if you want to build a country, this is how we build it. Because we see in the voter part, they say they want to be what? A country. So they were doing things in secrecy, and then they have flags being printed. Even in a situation where I used to work as a graphic designer, and some persons that I know who were involved in these things are caught. Some persons' father were caught. Why? Because they were involved in the we trying to be a country movement. They were caught. And so some people are still in prison. And look at the leader, the person who was leading that. It's an old man who is about to die. Even when they were sending this man to court, he can't even walk. And so before he was about dying, this is what he want to create. You see, this is an old man. This is teaching you something. That this old man who is doing this thing has taught many people that it is possible. And so they can still find a way. But look at it. The Ashanti king, who happens to be the person who's supposed to sit, who everyone is hailing, when he says, sleep, then you will sleep. he himself, he doesn't know that he's a god. And that is why he have to go and join a group to kneel down, and then they will take picture of him and be posting. So he has shut his God energy down. He doesn't know that he is a god. My people begin to see things this way. And this same person, their people are saying we are a country, and he's not telling them that stop, don't say that, because we all have one Ghana and we are a region and I'm your king. He's not saying that. It's suiting him. And so this has continued to a point where, guys, there has been music. And then you see people, young folks are saying, oh, Swami Mississippi, Pankrono is this. You see, we have them say that in music. You see, because these persons, that is what they know. Most people in the region, my people, are thinking that they are their tribe. They don't see themselves bigger than the tribe. And that is why, just like many Muslims who don't see themselves bigger than the religion, go and fight. Just like how, when the Ashanti person hears that somebody says something against the region, for sometimes even when it makes sense, they will take food and be insulting the person. So some Muslims will go and fight physically, and some Ashantis, they will fight with their mouth and even say things that you've never done. You see, so in Ghana it is popular that we have Asante Nkremah, but we don't have Aibe Nkremah, even though they intermarry sometimes, but we have Asante Nkremah. So there are similarities, they have something in common. So things in this universe, if you don't know, my people, you'll be doing this as a slave and you will not know. So even the Asante king doesn't know that he's bigger than even the White House. I tell you, the Asante kings in Ghana are bigger than the White House. And so if you have these persons, the King Charles or these persons invite the king to there, it does not mean that when you see it as a black person, it means that because they are powerful is why they've also invite our person. So our person who have the opportunity to go there means that they are powerful. No, our person is already powerful. The king is already powerful. So it takes a knowing to know these things. I tell you, it takes a knowing to know these things. The whole world, they don't put kings on a palanquin. Even the Queen Elizabeth, who passed away, has never put in palanquin and been doing pitu. No, it's just this way. That is what they want you to do. They want to flip that. So if you don't know, they'll be doing things to make you feel joy, so you become powerful. And that is how you shut yourself down. And that is how people cannot increase in awareness. You see, so as things continue to go on this way, that we are a country, and people are not talking about it, there will be a time that people will say that we want to be a country finally. And you see these whites, as they keep coming here, you see, it's not anything. If you don't see yourself bigger than them, this is how they'll be doing. They'll be making you feel like you are because you belong to them. You are big because you belong to them. But it is not. They rather are supposed to be the one to be saying yes, Amasa to you. They are the ones who's supposed to be kneeling down in front of you. You don't have to join a group in order to feel powerful. That is what they don't tell you. That is what most Africans don't know, because Africans are gods. That is what you see. The world is supposed to worship blacks, Africans. You are the idol. Just like how in India, you see a black Indian. They have their hair, just like the white, but they are black. And you see, when you go there, you see that even the white people are against the black Indians there. So there's something about you. It's like a polarity. The God in you is what irritates these persons. I tell you. And so when they see that potentially you have something that they can get from you, then they'll be doing as if you belong, so you can feel powerful. It's a lie. They flip it. My people, that is, I'm telling you, that if African leaders in Ghana, Africa, they want to know, they will know. Because the system, breaking the system is a knowing. When everyone has that knowing, the system will fall. Africa will begin to be powerful. Because Africans already are, but it's just the awareness to know it's what has been the problem of Africans. I tell you, so if things are not looked at this way, we will continue to be in this cycle. My people, it's not about saying that you know God. It's about what you know, the awareness you have, and what you see in your reality, for what will make you see that you yourself, you are. And so the Asante king, when it's time that each people want to say that they want to finally be a country, they can put so many videos and tell the president that it is true. We have so many sitting presidents that we were saying that we are a country, and nobody saying we should stop that. Nobody told us that we should stop. And so we have evidence why we want to still be a country. And what do you think will happen? Okay, let's look at things this way. If the votes are raging, theirs were in secrecy and they were caught. Even person who printed flag are in prison. But the Ashantis, they've not finally said that we want to be, but they are doing adverts. It's like an advert. This is awareness that I'm giving you. As people, Africans, this is an awareness. It's in our faces, because it will be there one day and then they will say, why not let's be a country? Because you see, we've done the advert, so this is finally the time. And I tell you that the white, they have high awareness in negativity, in things that will progress you, that will progress the continent, Africa. They always have awareness in that. And so they will begin to put things in leaders, their brain. And leaders who don't see themselves as gods, who has already, bending down to people who this person should be worshiping them, they can easily twist their brain. And they will not have the awareness to know that, no, they can come up with so many things why you should. And you will see, my people, you see, anytime they are trooping here, anytime they are trooping here, that is why I'm telling you that begin to know who you are as an African. Increase in awareness as a Ghanaian. So you begin to see things for yourself, because you are. So if president, leaders don't begin to see things this way, the voter was in secrecy. People are still in prison. And now the youth mind are even saying, Swami Mississippi, this one is this. So they already know that they are. It's just a button that needs to be pressed. You see? So African leaders, things of this has to stop. That is when the king will begin to see their people. When this lens is taken off, then most people will begin to see and face themselves. After facing themselves, then now they'll begin to see the God in other people. If they are doing things to come and hurt you, you know. If they are coming to do things to progress the country, you know. It's all about the country. It's all about who we are as a people. Gods. You don't let somebody be inviting you to make you feel that you are, because you already are. That is why I'm saying that if we have the China president invite the Ghana president, it is nice. But from a higher perspective, there is something. It's why. And if the Ghana president will also invite the China president or this world president to also come to Africa, there will be so many things that we can put into their awareness. And then when they are going, they will know that they are not supposed to even, bring certain policies in this country. Say that let's go on this agreement. No. They will know that there is something that which is always higher than them. It's awareness. It's not about going to this thing and singing. Oh, glory. No. Because you are. When you begin to know, then you will know how. You see, just like how they say, we have all the machinery and we also have the technical know-how. So we will bring everything and then we will tell you the percentage we will give you, because we have the machinery for which you can buy, the technical know-how for which you can know. You see, they choke you that way, then they'll be milking from you. You see, awareness. When you don't know it, you will see them as the God. Just like how it is said that because you are going somewhere and you meet the white, return, because you just met what? God. They flip it for you. So people still have that knowing. When African presidents are being invited, they know that, this is special for me, baby. This is so special. Yes, that is it. It takes a knowing, my people. It takes a knowing when Africans begin to believe in themselves. That is why I keep telling you that even the educational system, the things that will make the African increase in awareness, it's not what we are learning in schools. I tell you. And Africans are also afraid that when they let go of that, they will rank them. You see, that is how you keep being small every day. Africa need to have a different system. And I tell you, the educational system, the things that has to change in the educational system are simple things. It's not as hard that you people think. It's not things that when it's time for exams, you come to prove to the teacher that you were able to memorize the things that even when you are done with school, you cannot even see and have a higher perspective of, or have a knowing of it. It's more like conversation. Yeah, in school we learn these things. Actually, it's not easy. Actually, my people, and the chromosomes. That is it. That is why you see persons, even when they go to school there and they come and they are being given positions, still they fail. They fail because what is my level of education? It's SHS, my people, and my certificates. I still haven't gone for it. It's awareness. When you know, you know. That is what you, African leaders, has to start knowing. Look at the past president, Nana Akufo-Addo. Did he school in Ghana? No. You see, when the people voted him to power, look at what he did from a system that is knowing. The same Africans, when they are done with school again and they go there, they still have to school. The system is locked everywhere. Over 5,000 languages being spoken in Africa. Over 300 languages being spoken in Ghana, in Rome, Nigeria, over 350, 400. See, goes on and on. Over 5,000 languages. All are what? Religion. I tell you, my people, it's a way of life. Just like religion, we do it this way. So it's annoying that will make you have that realization that I'm not going to do it this way. I want it this way. Religion, it says you cannot do anything. It's there. Barry. So if you don't want, then you leave. Even when you leave and you don't have a knowing, you will still go back in because that is where God is, they say. You see, what you know is an idea and is to limit every system. That is to limit you. That is you as a God. And so what Africans are doing, most leaders in Africa are doing, shows that they don't know. We are changing the mindset of the people. We want this continent to move. Else, you have a leader who will come and ease the burden, and another leader will come in to scatter everything. It's what we see Nana Akufo-Addo did, my people. And even before Nana Addo, came to power, he went to see the king. And what did he say? He spoke to him on authority. He said, you've never seen poverty before. And so if you come, make sure what? You come to ease the burden of what? The Ghanaian. And you see him do this way. He was speaking to him on authority. But when things were difficult, did you see the same person speak against his governance? Did he speak against his governance? No. But the same Akufo-Addo also, what did he do? He went to a place where chiefs are sitting. What did he do? He says, stand up. Me, I just came here and you people are sitting down. What are you doing? Stand up. But the same Akufo-Addo, who will not do that to the Ashanti king? You see, it's annoying. You will not do that. It's annoying. It's a system. The battle is what? The Lord's. Akufo-Addo used the Bible. God I this, in God I that. And he became president. But look at what he did. Even when things were difficult, he was also doing religious things. Always in the churches, praying and doing all the oyes. Whilst he was doing these things, people were shouting. He was still not listening. Even the NPP party, the party where he is in, the logo, the emblem is the elephant. And the elephant has the biggest ears. But he was still not listening. So such leader even does not even understand who he is and what he's into, the party he's in. He was not listening, same as most of the people he was governing with. When they were talking, they were not listening because they don't even know that the party where they belong has the biggest ears. So when somebody says something, pressing issues, they are supposed to hear, like the Ashanti king. Because every African is a king. Ni, almost every Ghanaian person is Ni. So you see, even the king, as we do, this way, the umbrella is like what? A shield that people can run to. You see, you are a shield that people can run to. But there are situations whereby people say things in the region, and these persons have to be running like slaves because you are a country, and certain radios have to be shut down because somebody has said something that the king sometimes has to look at. Just like how he did the lady, that black woman. Even the seat that the Ashanti king is sitting on, you have a woman fought for that stool. A woman was saying things, and even there was respect. Nana, say bibi ukoso okrom na say ye kananka wefo a uka ho bi because the ekoso oman obi aka say, you see, he was putting Nana unidi mu, you see, Nana unidi mu, he was putting respect. The lady showed so much respect, but the king, God also couldn't see that what this leader, this king is doing is not. And they called her to come and kneel down. Hey, the woman, Mama Africa, let this woman come to kneel down in front of you and crying. You see, so Yasantua, you didn't see Yasantua, you flipped it. That is why I'm telling you that people who don't know, just like how people go and fight to a point where they die for their religion. The same way that in the history, you see somebody like Boise Yaku use his head as a sacrifice for the stool that he's sitting on. Because Boise Yaku saw himself as the tribe. He didn't see himself bigger than the tribe. And so, just like how the king does not see himself as a god, most Africans don't see themselves as a god. So they will go and be in a robe and go and kneel down. You see, you go and kneel down. go to the Pope, kneel down in front of the Pope. What do this Pope, what do they do? Sometimes when people are going to war, you see them holding the Bible and they will pray for these persons to go to war and hold the Bible. So when you go and kill people. Correct. Even the Pope has to worship you. I tell you, the Pope has to kneel down in front of the king. But the king will go and kneel down there. Same as go and join certain groups to say, my Lord. You see, because the king himself don't know that he is. Even Queen Elizabeth, their mother dies or something happens. They've never told anyone that people in bronze, nobody should come out. The Queen has never done that. If there's a holiday that they will give, it's a holiday. Even in your holiday, you can do anything that you want. But the king will say, nobody should come out, and nobody will come out. That is a God. Nobody will come out. We see chiefs in Africa, they do these things. And you know, people will begin to have a realization that the king says, you see, the king says, they say we shouldn't. But you who have this power, who have to go and kneel down, no, that is how you shut it down. That is how they will keep coming with policies, higher policies in negativity, but you will not know. That is what they are doing to Africans, to retrogress the country and the people. So when it's this way, it's hard for you to see your people when they are spewing knowledge. That is why we see a king do when the lady was saying something to look at. Very nice lady. Why would a king do that? Disgrace her in front of Africa. You see, Mama Africa. And this is what you are doing to a woman who was saying something for you to look at. Pressing issues. This is worrying. It's why this woman is saying these things. She is not just throwing shots. Because there are some persons, they will be saying things that they themselves, they don't know. They will just be saying things anyhow. Whatever this lady was saying was something that is for you to look at. It's a pressing issue. It's what will help build the country. But you didn't see. And you let her come and kneel down. And you have Ghanaians who also don't have awareness, and also tribe members who also don't see themselves bigger than the tribe, laughing at this lady. Why, my people? When things continue this way, just like how they say it's a country, it's a country, it's a country. If Volta region begin to say they're a country, but now in our faces and they have their flags. Bono King also begin to say they're a country and also have their flag. The Northern also says they are a country and also have their flags. Oti region, all the regions in Ghana, their people begin to say that they are a country and also have their flags. Who will be a president of these countries in Ghana? Knowledge. This is what we should be looking at if we want to build a country that cannot be reversed. This is what we should be looking at. Certain adverts are not supposed to be happening in this country. I tell you, I said Ghana is the gateway to Africa. Nigerians, they say they are the giants. The giants, you see their presidents. Before even these persons became president, you have people say that if you know you are coming to vote for the opposition, don't come. They were holding guns. Don't come. If you know you are coming to vote for Peter Obi, don't come. And they are holding guns this way. Soldier holding gun, don't come. Somebody was taking video of such person. And this is what the giants brought in Tinubu. You see, so the giant of Africa, you see their president, it's a baby. You see, and the giants, you see their currency, plenty, but there's no value. So if you are going to buy something, you have to take Ghana as gold. Because Ghana is what? The gateway to Africa. Ghana has to show the way. I'm telling you people something. Ghana has to show the way. And so this is not the way that we see happening in Ashanti region, that the people are saying they are a country. They are not. Because awareness is everything. And awareness is God. It's knowledge. And what you know is the lens at which you'll be seeing things. Over the years, what Africans know, who Africans are, is being forgotten. Because many even think aside the Bible, there's no knowledge to seek. Awareness is God. Awareness, knowledge is God. And it's always higher than prayer. That is what they don't tell you. That is what Africans don't know. Many Africans, they don't know. You see, awareness is God and knowledge is God. They don't tell you. So always use prayer to battle things that when you sit down, you can know. That is why Africans are not moving. That is why Africans cannot see themselves as powerful. And so they let persons who have higher awareness, in negativity, keep taking advantage of them. And so let's begin to look at things this way. And it's why I saw that they say some paper need to be signed, some peace this thing after the king, have spoken to them, they send it to the president for them to sign, and then one of the kings says no. Yes, if that is true, then it's to complement what I'm saying, that he is not even the person to even sit in that, because each people are saying they are a country, and he's not saying anything about it. Your mind, and he's not saying anything about it. And the root cause of this fighting that is happening between these people, the Northerners, is as a result. They don't see themselves higher than the tribe, is why. You see, when you go back to history, you see that they are even one people, but look at them. And these Northerners who are loving people, when you go to the northern side, these persons, they are good people. Northerners are good people. But look at how these persons are fighting among each other. They should tell you it's annoying. And I tell you, when these persons begin to have this knowing, it's not all. When they have this knowing, it's not all. Education has to go in the schools. I tell you, so there's things to be done in this country to what? Make the Ghanaians see things from a different perspective. There are things to be done to change the citizens' mindset, their way of life, and how they see things, the lens at which they are seeing things. Because this fight has been there, not today. There has been so many killings, and these are what? Tribal war.